Hey guys, this is Unlike Pluto. First off, I want to thank each and every one of you for all the support I've received on Waiting for You. It's been an absolute pleasure being welcomed to this community, and I cannot wait to show you more music. Here's my latest, Searching for You, featuring vocals from Kara and Eric Zane. I hope you enjoy, and thanks for tuning in.
Teams representing some of the biggest cities around the world. 72 of the world's most talented poker players with over $350 million in combined lifetime earnings will put everything on the line over 8 months to compete for the title of the first ever GPL World Champions. Which team has what it takes? The Global Poker League starts now.
Hello and welcome back to the Global Poker League this Tuesday evening. I'm Laura Cornelius and we are on to our very last match of the evening. We've already seen one game from the Americas Conference. Fedor Holz took it down, chilling by the pool in Costa Rica. He will be back and trying to clean sweep for the very first time in Six Max GPL history. He'll be alongside Jason Wheeler of the New York Rounders, Farah Xhaka, who will be stepping in for Jonathan Jaffe of the San Francisco Rush. They'll be looking to win some much needed points after being stuck at the bottom of the conference for quite some time now. Jonathan Little will be back for the Las Vegas Moneymakers. Martin Jacobson, world champion, will be here for the Montreal Nationals. And Joao Bauer for the Sao Paulo Mets is back. He managed to get heads up there with Fedor Holz in the very first match of this evening, and he will be looking to try and take this next one down as well. Let's see where that leaves us in the standings and the points, because Fedor Holz was able to creep up a little. LA Sunset now taking second place in the conference, overtaking the New York Rounders on 86 points, but Montreal Nationals still lead. They are 4 points clear of the LA Sunset, which means if LA Sunset can win or come second with the Montreal Nationals in last place, then they could be our new leaders for the day. New York Rounders then in third place. That is just 4 points separating second and third too. Then we have the Sao Paulo Mets with 75 points. Joao Bauer picked up 5 points coming second place in that first match. They are 7 points behind the Rounders. We have the Las Vegas Moneymakers 10 points behind the Sao Paulo Mets. Jonathan Little is back for them in this second match. And as we said, San Francisco Rush 4 points behind the Las Vegas Moneymakers with 61 points. Farah Xhaka stepping in this second match. We had Jonathan Jaffe playing in the first match. He went home with nil Paulo, unable to pick up any points for his side. And Farah Xhaka, the manager of San Francisco, here to try and get the job done and take those much needed 7 points. So 7 points is what you get if you win the Six Max, and then 5 points for a second place. Only sixth place leaves with nothing. We're going to head over to the boys, to the Griff Graph, and get a little bit of pre-match analysis for this last one of the evening.
Thanks, Corn Dog.
The Corn Dog.
The Corn Dog.
The Corn Diggity Dog.
The Dog. The Dog.
Here we are. Last match of the day, second match of the Americas Conference.
Yes.
And
end of the road for
let's
Tuesday.
just say, there's been many great things about this mini era in the GPL.
Yes.
One thing we have been missing a little bit is a bit of Faraj Xhaka action.
Yes.
I haven't seen enough.
We're really
of the great
close
man.
to each other right now, by the way. It's a little different
okay.
look. It's cool.
His is what I like to call the player stats.
Yeah.
I refer to his nationality, US of A. His best GPI rank, #75.
Earnings, $5,117,272.
You know how many results he's got? 78 with 2 wins, which, as you like to say, is not a good win ratio. And his first result was in June 2007.
Mid-June, actually.
And he is the manager, and he needs to step up because,
Yes.
as we saw
The
there,
Rush are terrible.
as Laura Cornelius talked us through the tables, you will see the Rush are seriously adrift of the playoff spots.
Great word to use, adrift. They are drifting away, and very weird because of the talented forces they have on that team. The likes of Jonathan Jaffe, Kitty Q. Who else is on the squad? Some good
Phil
players.
Galfond.
Phil Galfond.
Phil the Thrill. And
Phil.
yeah, And,
Joao
you know, Faraz going to step up, take some responsibility, and try and register some points.
Someone has to.
And he is a player
unacceptable.
that is used to this.
And if I have to take your gun and your badge,
He's off. You know, he is a player who's used to this kind of top-level competition.
Yeah, for sure.
And someone that's got his own style.
Definitely.
Do you want to talk
Speaking
about
of
that
his own style, Roland Boothby tomorrow.
Roland in the Boothby.
That's literally his last name. I don't know how I'm
feel
going to be able to
blue because Roland
is in the booth.
In the booth.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting for Sam to get a day off and for me to get a break from him, to be honest with you. But that's happening tomorrow. But right now, let's focus on Faraz Jaka. He's coming in. The Rush needs some points, and but Fedor Holz is still out there. Hopefully, we still have him from Cam.
Absolute
I was loving
pressure.
that.
Fedor
Looking
Holz,
great.
Fedor Holz is amazing poker
Yeah.
talent. And amazing that in this high variance format, you know, very, very fast structure.
That he's just running
lot of
so
luck.
good and playing
he
perfectly.
still, registers points almost every time.
Yeah.
Got so many top 3 finishes, wins on the board.
Even
as
when
well.
he has 3 big blinds, as you guys saw earlier in the match.
He's making good folds. Yeah,
he's making
absolutely.
He's making
amazing.
every right decision.
But we should say, got very lucky against another top player, Martin Jacobson. Seen Martin in an incredible situation. Queens against Jack 10, all in pre-flop for something like 80 big blinds. So very, very unfortunate outdraw.
80 big blinds.
Martin Jacobson.
No, he had 46K.
Sorry,
2K
not 80 big
but
blinds.
still, 45
big
effective.
That's
Yeah.
what I meant.
Combined, yes. Sorry, didn't mean to correct you there, but
No,
80 big blinds
you're
is-
absolutely right.
Yes, absolutely. We are going to be heading to the match in just a few seconds. A lot to look forward to here. I want to know who's on the cam. Little sick of Joao Bauer, got to admit. Not a lot to offer.
No.
I mean, I love the backdrop, and I love that he has a little scoop beard going, but let's get to the
go.
action.
Let's
Hopefully
let's
we get some more
in the mixer.
Fedorals. And no Joao Bauer.
Faraz Jaka.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
Chaka,
bro.
chaka, 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 chaka.
First GPL 6 Max. Very exciting stuff.
Loving it, mate.
Fedor Holz carrying on where he left off. Very standard flat from Joao Bauer. We have seen a lot of the players elect to 3-bet in this kind of spot with ace queen, but doesn't. And the benefits of flatting, I should say, are keeping in hands that you dominate, such as ace 10 and queen jack. And so when you spike this ace, Fedor can lose some chips. Club is a card no one wanted to see, but it may save Fedor Holz somewhat. King, queen, queen, jack, jack 10 suited. All going to be club combos that JB would play like this.
Fedor Holz looking like he lives in an ad campaign for Abercrombie and Holz.
Gotta say, Fedor's Faraz's jack drop backdrop is looking pretty cool as well. And
I mean, yeah.
I'd be amazed if Fedor could fold here for the turn
But
back.
what's he beating, mate?
It'd be really,
King, queen, floats,
really
king of clubs?
impressive. Well, the backdoor spade combos, I guess.
Mm.
And also, Joao may elect to bet a hand like ace-5 of hearts on the turn for protection, and
Fair
so he
play,
can check
fair
back.
play.
But I don't think he necessarily would, by the way. But I'm
Right.
just saying, some players will convince
There's a
themselves.
lot of hands that he could have with a Fedor still beating him. That's why he's probably going to elect to call a lot of the time here.
No, he does fold, and I thought he might do that, but very impressive, I
Yeah,
think. I think a lot of
always.
people can talk themselves into the fact that there's enough combos, when actually Joao Bauer may not float those backdoor spade draws and may not bet those suited ace wheels on the turn. Really, really impressive. Fedor Holz, I can't tell you how good this guy is. You can see it for yourself. Just continues to impress.
Yeah.
Fedor just going for it.
By the way, pretty sweet that the two guys we have on cam are named Fedor and Faraz. Sounds like a great buddy cop film, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, you and I would be in the office graphing, and they'd come in there and be like, you guys, you know, you're undercover out there, Fedor and Faraz, And if you guys don't get your shit together, you're going to be off the force. You know?
Jonathan Little, 3-betting the suited wheel draw, picking up perhaps on the fact that Jason Wheeler was opening very, very wide
More
in
like
the
Jason
first match.
Steeler, right?
Yeah, but on this occasion, Jason Wheeler does have the goods.
More
I
like,
mean, it's
more like Jonathan Little Ace, right?
it's a pretty legit combo to 3-bet anyway, but Jason Wheeler, someone that's very, very aware of their own image, does just call the 3-bet.
Goes for the under-repped flat.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple things we could do here. We could check back, or we could continue with our story and bet. I think with the backdoor clubs, I'm going to fire a bet here.
By the
Turn
way,
to a
the
club.
best thing about that impersonation is we can continue with our story. That's really good. By the way, Griff, you're strong. And so Jonathan Little does continue with his story, and Jonathan Little turns the best hand, but it brings Jason Wheeler a flush draw.
That's an interesting card. I have showdown value now. Yeah, well, I love you, John. Just so you know, I actually do legitimately think you're great.
This is impressive impersonation.
But that actually is a very obviously an action-packed card here. It does give Jonathan the best hand, but that does not.
And Jason Wheeler on the river makes the nut flush. Great river card for Jason Wheeler, and he's going to be able to bet for value now. What sizing does he choose? Wouldn't imagine he has a whole host of bluffs playing this way. Perhaps king, queen of clubs, queen, 10 of clubs, ace, 10 of clubs.
Jason Wheeler is someone that seems like he would hang out in the clubs.
And Jason Wheeler does block those backdoor club draws. Very, very ropey bluff catcher. Gonna have some spades. He plays it this way. Perhaps tens or queens with the queen of spades. Jonathan Little, too savvy, gets away from his hand on the river when he's outdrawn by Jason Wheeler. Like that fold from Jonathan Little. And let's see how loose a strategy the wheel dog is going to play. And Jason Wheeler is a stealer because he comes in for a raise.
Like
and
Justin Bieber.
And Martin Jacobson, with a hand he can 3-bet.
Or flat.
And does go for the 3-bet. We saw him flat this exact holding against Fedor's under the gun open in the first match. Here against someone playing a looser strategy, elect to 3-bet it. And Jason Wheeler with an offsuit Jack 10. How will he proceed? Fold here is pretty standard, and that's what Jason does. Few early skirmishes here in the last match of the day.
Early days.
And Jason Wheeler, will he go for it again?
Wheeler.
Come on, Wheel Dog.
You know he will.
You know
Nobody's
you want
folding
to,
the
Wheeler.
jack nut.
By the way, so often when someone loses a pot, they like fold the next hand. So happens so much. By the way. If that had got through, Jason would have raised the next hand.
I'm on a roof right now. I'm on a roof in Buenos Aires.
Sick.
Maybe we'll have a little battle of the roofs.
See, this is how some poker players actually live.
And
just
people,
Latin American rooftops in Latin American
and
countries.
people wonder why I compare these people to superheroes.
Bauer,
I mean,
gonna
they're
be my
literally
heads-up
chilling on
match
rooftops.
This week, so that should be pretty interesting. Get a little sneak preview with us in the 6 mats. Pretty thin / also a little bit of protection, but I could actually see him calling me here with some king highs, maybe even queen high. And it's nice to just protect my crappy little pair.
Nice to Tid. Nice to Tid there. Tell the fans what Tid means.
Take it down. And Jonathan Little coming in for a race with the very playable King Jack suited. And Fedor Holz, who has been bashing up the guys in this Americas conference today with the weapons of mass destruction, the Admiral Akbars, and 3 bets it. I think there are some opponents that Jonathan would lay this down to, his hand down to immediately, but against Fedor, with how active he's been.
Should I take the lead here for Jonathan Little?
Okay, yeah, please.
Well, Fedor's 3 bet us. A couple things we can do. We can fold. I think he perceives me as on the tighter side. We are suited. Flop pretty well. You should be pretty strong here. But I'm going to put in a 4 bet.
That's awesome. And Jonathan Little, 4 betting. And Fedor Holz, very aware of his own image and game flow, blocks a lot of value combos, may elect to flat here. Obviously, the reason to jam is so Jonathan doesn't get away from
God, how good is Fedor to flat here?
No, I mean...
It's just insane. I mean, I know we get the jack high board and everything, but he just knows what everyone has.
And do you want to do JL?
So we flop really strongly here. Hands we're losing to. Ace-jack, obviously. But with the backdoor flush draw, we just have to hope, you know, he doesn't have pocket aces. Certainly with him calling the 4 bet, it's a possibility.
Yeah, and Jonathan Little bets out here to protect his pair.
Fedor with the big
The Jack
stretch out.
3-4 rainbow might be the best. I mean, he
Yeah.
loses to Jacks, and that is it.
So it turns 10 of hearts.
And this is a bad card for
Yeah.
Jonathan Little, by the way, because
Definitely.
one of the few hands that Fedor might 3-bet
Have
and then
pocket
flat
tens.
would
Yeah.
be pocket tens.
Or king, queen of hearts. Does Jonathan Little ever just check fold here, though? Yeah, he is good enough to get out of this situation, but
I mean, the thing is when Fedor jams here, he's going to be getting
a crazy
3
price
to
hit,
1
yeah.
on a call. And, you know, it's very, very hard to fold top pair getting that kind of price. Fedor Holz with aces. 3-bet, flatted a 4-bet, now all in. And Jonathan Little
Wow.
snaps it.
Surprising, but
And
an elimination.
JL is out. Unfortunate flop for the Las Vegas Moneymaker. And they are really, really struggling in this conference. With Sao Paulo Mets increasing their lead over them in the last match. They are well adrift now from
The
the
legend
playoff
of
spots.
Fedor grows. Hold the door, Fedor holds. Getting the job done early. Always finding a way, it seems, to double his stack out the gate.
Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Nice little flop here for Martin Jacobson from Sweden.
These 8's going to seem even stronger once the Jack pairs. Obviously, reduces the number of Jack X combos in Wheeler's range. Wheeler can have.
Big opportunity here for the rush to overtake the Moneymakers now, actually, as in the bottom of the division. And who better to do it than the man behind the team, the man on the rooftop in Buenos Aires, the homeless millionaire, the Faraz Jaka. I ran out of things to say.
So, 5-handed, everyone guaranteed a point. If you're joining us late, we've had the Eurasia division. The matches there won by Liv Barry and Mike Leia.
with Igor Kurganov securing a second place in that first heat,
Yeah.
giving the London Royals a total of 12 points.
Yeah, been a great
Huge
couple of
bump
weeks
boost.
for the
Yes.
London Royals, moving up
Matter of time situation, I think we all
through
felt.
the conference. Bill Perkins not performing too well for the Bears, and same with Dario Sammartino. Those two franchises still struggling. And in the first match in the Americas Conference, Fedor Holz put on a
In
masterclass,
the States.
securing a win. Joao Bauer, very short stack throughout, getting second place there for 5 points, and Martin Jacobson finishing third.
Bad hands all around here. Hand number 10 of this heat.
Wow, catching dusk falling in Buenos Aires. I mean,
Look at that backdrop, man.
Where
is Buenos Aires?
Capital of Argentina, mate.
Oh, nice.
Be very, very
should know
high
that.
on my list of cities to visit.
Never been.
No, I've
You?
never been, but my brothers have travelled all over, and one of them spent a year in South America, and that's their favourite. Both of them their favourite city. One of their favourite cities in the world. They spent a month there.
Who does? Sorry, say again.
Both my brothers have
Nice.
been to Buenos Aires. They love it there.
I feel like you would have been to Argentina. It's surprising. It's like, how did it escape you, you know?
One day, bro.
Yeah.
One day.
Jason Wheeler with the trays, with the crabs, with the set.
Yep. And Jason connecting very, very strongly.
Hard to make tree of a kind.
And Fedor continuation bets. Lot of turn cards he can barrel. Diamonds, a deuce, a 5. Can spike an ace as well. Does have the stronger range on this board.
But that card should slow down. Fedor.
Fedor does check back.
Great card for Jason Wheeler to check raise, but will he find the discipline to do it?
Yeah, in general, when the board texture runs out like this, Jason's not going to have a whole host of hands he wants to value bet. Goes for the over bet. And Fedor, obviously, with just ace high, immediately relinquishes.
Mate,
How quickly has night fallen, by the way? Faraz was in like...
Yeah.
It's like changed very,
It's a
very
very
well.
magical place, it seems like. There's a couple places I need to go that I fear is just magical. Malta was one of them, and this place is pretty magical. But Argentina, Costa Rica, Panama, there's some places I got to go.
Never been to Costa Rica?
No. I know it sounds weird to people because they think I'm like some American poker player and I would have had to go there, but I'm Canadian, mate.
Yeah.
Bruv,
I've never been to Canada, so...
that's insane. You're one of us. What are you doing? It's a bit weird, bruv.
British people don't really go to Canada, though.
No?
We don't really go on... You never hear of someone going on holiday to Canada.
Really?
No.
Does he? Corn Dog interrupting the broadcast to tell us her brother goes on holiday to
she's
Canada.
People don't realize she's always pestering us. We actually are under a lot of pressure.
It's
A lot of the time when you hear it go,
actually
it sounds like
insane.
we're distracted. It's just because Cornelius is coming up
Yeah.
and touching us and inappropriately. And,
really inappropriately.
we have to deal with Max Rabinovich as well.
Oh, my God.
Max.
Hashtag the worst.
Yeah, he's all over us as well.
There's a
Always
show
wants
actually on I think it's on FX called You're the Worst, and it's actually just based on how I feel about Max Rabinovich.
Yeah.
Good show, actually. I think you'd really like it. About a writer in LA. Quite good.
Mate.
I consider you a writer. Have you ever written anything? Yes, you got nominated for something.
No, I mean, I occasionally dabble.
I dabble in the award season, you know.
So
Rose
Faraz
around.
Jacka flops a gut shot and a backdoor flush draw. This is a board where he has all the strong hands. Aces, queens, ace, queen. And Joao Bauer has a pretty flimsy range. So definitely a texture. He can apply a lot of pressure, particularly with outs to the nuts. Will Faraz fire again? And Faraz doesn't fire, but just checks back, and in she blows.
Connection's going out. That's not good. Might have to move downstairs. After I deal with these nuts that I've rivered.
My friend Griffin just listening to himself, listening to his JL impression and chuckling to himself. Faraz does bet the river.
Go ahead and move back downstairs in the house because I'm disconnecting out here.
Really
and just want to be safe.
difficult spot for Joao Bauer. You'd imagine Faraz wouldn't play too many bluffs like this. He does have a strong range to begin with, opening on the hijack.
Just in case he raises. Don't want to fold the nuts.
In general, bet check bat is perceived as a pretty value-heavy line. A lot of Faraz's draws he's going to barrel the turn with. And Joao Bauer does get away from second pair. Really good fold from the Sao Paulo Mets. Really, really growing in stature within this league, JB. Didn't get off to a very good start in that first heads-up match. But really putting in some work for the Mets and securing a lot of points.
Yeah, that's why he's been thrown in the game. Andre Akari obviously knew who he was drafting with Joao Bauer, and he's been, good Vamosing happening. A lot more Vamosing than the Rush and the Moneymakers, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's doing really well, JB.
Yeah.
Pretty tough when you're a, MTT reg like us, Joao Bauer, similar, sort of player with these superstars.
Yes.
Fedor Holz going for the 3-bet again. Targeting Jason Wheeler, who's been opening pretty light. Wheeler peels and
Bingo, bango, bungo.
flops huge.
I made it out of Strombo. This is a texture that I actually would not be surprised to see Fedor Holz give up on without a backdoor spade. Jason Wheeler having so many aces in his range, ace, queen, ace, jack. He does elect to bet, presumably to get Jason off a hand like pocket 10s, pocket 9s, pocket 8s. Taking a stab, keeping his range uncapped, but it is not going to go well for him, and I imagine he will be one and done with this particular pot. His Fedor sense is tingling.
Full house for Jason Wheeler.
And Fedor Holz gives it up.
Martin Jacobson with a very playable 5-6 suited into the muck.
Definitely respecting Fedor on his direct left.
Solid strategy from Martin Jacobson. And Faraz with the hand Martin Jacobson won the main event with 2 10s, putting in a chunky 3-bet. A sizing JB will probably have to respect.
Faraz Jaka with the beautiful 7-8 of spades. Ooh, it's nice, isn't it? Ooh.
You like that, don't you, Faraz? You love
Oh,
it.
you frickin' love it.
You like that,
You
Faraz.
love the 7-8 of spades.
Cagey stuff here. 5 top pros. It's Fedor Holz who has the chip lead. And Joao Bauer with the AJ. And Jason Wheeler with Ace Queen on the button.
Not many names for Ace Queen. I was trying to think of something clever there. Nothing. It's like it's not like nobody likes Ace
They
Queen.
used to say it like when you. This is like back in the day when I used to
Look
read
at him
books.
flopping top 2 with Ace Queen all the
It's
time.
like-
What is this? Is this a weird
they,
thing
they,
right now?
They call it Ace Chick. No, isn't it like Big Slick, Big Chick?
Oh, not bad.
And I mean, it's terrible because
It's a
obviously
bit
you don't
bad.
want to call the like a chick, or the queen. She's a chick,
Yeah.
but I definitely remember reading that. And Joao Bauer will have the best hand on this flop a high percentage of the time. On this occasion, he has just 4% equity. Jason Wheeler flats in position, and Joao Bauer turning 2-pair disastrous for the Met. Will need a favorable run out if he's to avoid getting stacked here. I mean, Jason definitely would float some
King 10.
combos of King 10.
Yeah, backdoor flush draws.
Spades and
Diamonds, of
diamonds for
course.
certain. But this hand's going to be a pretty clear bet for value. Jason also with a couple of combos at least of Queen Jack. Ace 10 as well. Very, very likely to continue to this sizing. So Joao Bauer really betting for value here, wanting to get called. And that
Is a great river for both of them.
yeah, is not.
I don't think Joao will bust here, but he'll certainly lose a big part of his stack if he bets,
well,
around
don't you
7,000,
think
8,000.
Jason's going to jam?
No, because I don't think that Joao would ever call with worse.
Well, specifically this hand, but not many combos.
Yeah, but why would but Wheeler always has King 10 or Ace Queen when he does that, yeah?
For sure. We should see though.
It's one of those situations where
I
if
mean,
you're just in
JB
the could check call.
could jam. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
if
Wow.
yeah, imagine you got to the spot with 10-9 of diamonds. It's not horrific. I think might be slightly overplaying Ace Jack, and he does bet for value.
To
And
that size, he might
we've
shove. Yeah.
been debating how Jason should proceed on this river. Pretty close between a call and a shove. Question is whether Joao Bauer is balanced with his sizings here, whether he bets a set of jacks or King 10 to the same sizing, or whether he splits his range and has one sizing for his weaker value hands and one size for his stronger value hands. That's what Jason Wheeler will be thinking about. We know against this holding he should shove, and that's what he does. Puke spot for Joao Bauer, betting the river, hoping to get a side call from an Ace 10, an Ace 8, a Queen Jack, facing a raise. And how does he proceed? Put yourself in Joao Bauer's shoes. What would you do here?
Did you see that?
Who was that?
Someone went flying by. I assume it's someone like Jaffe.
What, they got the grindhouse there?
Yeah, presumably.
Who's that?
I think it's just an Argentinian buddy. Maybe it's a poker player. I don't know.
Really tough spot. Joao Bauer deep into the tank. Don't blame him. What value combos does Jason Wheeler have here? Okay, one combo of Ace 3. If he flats it pre-flop. The same hand, perhaps. Ace Jack, would he really jam that? Ace Queen, set of queens. maybe needs to not 3-bet them pre-flop.
The problem is Wheeler's value range here is so thin, right? It's king 10, it's ace queen, it's quad threes, it's trapped aces, but you know Bauer has an ace blocker, so extremely difficult for him to, you know, call. But it's also hard for him to think of any. He only really has two combos of.
I mean, what we see is that Jason Wheeler has every combo of ace queen. Not that that's, you know, that many when you have an ace yourself and there's an ace out there, but Joao Bauer must think that at least some of the time Jason Wheeler is going to 3-bet a hand like queens, a hand like ace queen.
Pedro SSM on Twitch asks, is Jacka playing on a roof or is that a painting behind him? I think that's exactly what we were thinking. Amazing how it changed so beautifully. But now, obviously, he has elected to go inside.
Joao Bauer phoning a friend, asking the audience. Real big moment for the Sao Paulo Met. We've spoken about how well he's done in this format. Made so many of the right decisions. Can he make a really big laydown? He is getting an incredibly good price. Jason Wheeler only has to be bluffing here a handful of times to make this a profitable call. $11K to win 35 out there. And Joao Bauer with a big fold. Take a bow, son. Absolutely brilliant from JB.
Masterclass.
Yeah, different gravy, the boy. Really, really good. Thought it through. Just couldn't come up with enough bluff combos that Jason Wheeler plays this way and made a really, really tough fold. Interesting, actually, because maybe Jonathan could have thought a little longer with the King Jack, folding for about the same amount behind with the King Jack. It seems really hard to make that fold. And obviously, you know, on Rivers, equity, either you have 0 equity or 100% equity. It's slightly different when you can still spike a king or a jack to outdraw aces to make a big fold, but perhaps could have thought about folding, you know? Because, again, it's a spot where I just don't think Fedor has too many bluffs. He plays that way.
Maybe King, Queen, Hearts, or King, Queen off, but, like, just no.
Yeah.
Especially with the King blocker,
And would be ambitious to peel a 4-bet, peel the flop with an SPR of like...
Ace, Queen of Hearts maybe as well.
Yeah. Holz right back in the saddle, raising the Queen 5. And Faraz maybe contemplating a 3-bet here. Just flats. I think that's a pretty good option with hand with a lot of post-flop playability. Daniel Negreanu's favorite hand. 10-7 of hearts for you D-Negs fans out there.
D-Negs Poker letting us know early on today that we don't know what we're talking about. Shout out D-Negs Poker. Twitch hype.
Kat Arnsby tweeting in, the poker baffer. Not happy that I don't know who Bane is. Well, I don't know the Bane quote. Sorry about that, Kat.
I was wondering what would break first. Your mind or your body. You don't know Bane, eh? You gotta watch the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy. It's good stuff, man. It's a good movie.
Maybe
one day. It is my movie night soon, by the way.
Man, we're gonna be out of here before you get your movie night. And Fedor Holz does far again with a gut shot. The king so much more favorable for Fedor's range than Faraz's.
3 hours ago, Cat Armsby tweeted, "Why do Twitch men call girls grills? A grill is a place to put your half-cooked, flaccid, unsatisfying meat." Oh, I get it now. Very nice, Poker Baffer. Loving it.
And does force Jacka off the best hands.
Where Fedor could be bluffing with a decent amount of holdings there. Gonna also have a lot of tough river decisions. Also, I do have a 7, which blocks some of the combos he will be bluffing.
Fedor, Holz, and Jason
Also
Wheeler
could be just going for a
with big stacks.
thin value bet with a better 10 there as well.
Faraz breaking down the reasons for his fold. Does
But I
make
think
sense.
I can find a better spot nonetheless.
And Joao Bauer is all in, and Jason Wheeler with the walking sticks going to be pretty obligated to make a call here.
Nobody cared who I was until I called the all-in.
Jam's all in, and we are flipping
50-50, eh?
right on the money. 10, ace or queen.
Queen dizzy. Put Joao busy.
And now Wheeler with the 2 outs doesn't find one. And crucial moment there really for Joao Bauer and the Sao Paulo Mets. Really going to want to add to the 5 points they gained, gained in the first match.
Let us not stand on ceremony, Mr. Wheeler.
Who's that?
Morbane.
Morbane, okay.
Perhaps he is wondering why you would shoot a man before throwing him out of a plane.
No idea whether that's a good impression, but
I'll let Poker Baffer be the judge. Please tweet at me at Griffin Benger, Cat Armsby, if you're appreciating my Bane impressions. I also have phenomenal Batman and Joker ones. Pretty much open to any and all recommendations, suggestions.
just tweet us in general, or do go to globalpokerleague.com, fill in their survey, let them know how much you like.
Are impressions your bag, baby?
How
Oh, I
much you
fell
like
over.
Gotcha.
Oh, I fell over again.
Laura Cornelius, she gets it. Loving that.
Alrighty then.
Fedor Holz with another hand which you can elect to 3-bet. This guy does not slow down.
Surprised if Fedor tries to make a light 3-bet here. It's kind of a good spot for him to put a lot of pressure on everyone, considering the stack sizes.
And coffin sizing from Fedor. Really, really like this. Leveraging his chip advantage. And for hands like Faraz has, horrible spot. It's a hand
There's
you
a
really
lot of
want
hands I'd be tempted to
peel
jam
in
pretty
position.
light here just because of my read here, but this is such a good hand to flat that I think there's no point in doing anything but flatting here.
And Fedor
And that
flopping best
flop
as
is
per usual.
Slightly unfortunate.
Yeah. This is why Fedor
It's not
doesn't
the easiest to
3-bet
continue on.
this spot with junky 8-3 off or 8-5 off or something.
3,200
Picks
chips.
some suited playable hands that can
3,200.
flop top pair, and that's what he does.
3,200.
Bit bigger than that.
3,700. 5,900.
That's
I really think
why
Fedor was
you're in the booth.
3-betting with a pretty questionable hand here, but well, not questionable, but you know, maybe just some sort of ace blocker or something like that that he would have folded to a jam pre, but nothing I could do on this flop.
Yeah, Faraz with a strong sense of what's going on, but
And
when he
that is why
doesn't
it's
connect
nice
with the
to
board,
have a huge stack with these type of payout structures. You could just kind of push people around, and there's not a ton they could do.
Jason Wheeldog with the very playable Jack 10 suited. All straights contain a 10 or a 5 in them. That's why I love to play these connectors.
I had a great conversation with Igor Kurganov actually the other day about the power of ace-5 suited. How the solvers don't fold it, that it's the best hand, that it's 33% against kings. It's basically a flip.
Suited wheel draw.
No, ace-5 in particular. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be telling you this, but never fold it. 3 to 5 it every time. That's what he told me. Seriously.
Revealing on air to 1,000 people, Igor Kurganov in the lab, and you just spouting out.
Yeah. Why are you telling me?
His high roller strategy.
Yeah.
And horrible spot here for Faraz Jaka. Forced off way the best hand in the big blind by Fedor's 3 bets. And, you know, this kid just getting it done. I think Jason Wheeler probably going to have to tighten up a bit if he's not going to be defending Jack 10 suited against Fedor Holz's 3-bets. He opens very, very wide and probably has to compensate somewhere along the line with peeling a little bit wider if he's going to continue with that strategy. Fedor Holz, 2 blockers. I'm telling you now, this kid is considering it again for the 3rd hand in a row.
Who's Graciela?
And, oh, Fedor!
Who's Graciela? Oh, she's not there.
Martin Jacobson picking up the blinds. Did Jason Wheeler fold ace-8 in the big blind there?
I believe he did.
It's quite a strong fold, yeah?
Depends what your definition of strong is.
It's pretty, yeah.
Pretty tight. But all part of the plan, I think. It's all part of the plan. It's not about the money. It's about sending a message.
So we are 5-handed in the last 6-max match of the day. We've already seen the elimination of Jonathan Little fell victim to Fedor Holz, who slow played aces to perfection, letting JL flop top pair in a 4-bet pot and go broke with the King Jack. Fedor already won 1 match in this conference today, proving to be a real star here at the GPL. And Martin Jacobson with the JJs, the Jonathan Jaffies in the small blind.
Super Tuesday. That's funny.
Fedor saying someone's sat to his right. I didn't quite hear who. In the Super Tuesday on PokerStars. Jacker getting somewhat short now. 16 big blinds. Everyone pretty close in chips apart from Fedor.
Joao definitely has a spot where a shove should be considered, and he does elect to put it in. Sam, break down the flip for us. In the left corner,
Pocket deuces, a slight statistical
Bauer
favorite.
from the Brazilian.
JB all in. Martin gonna snap this bad boy off.
Fighting in the red corner. He hails from Sweden. He won the World Series of Poker main event for $10 million. And he's outflopped. Joe Bauer.
Deuce required or we'll lose JB. And we've got to say fair play to him that he made that big fold and got himself in a flip spot to be right back in the hunt for
but
points.
that was seriously anti-Vamo. Not good.
Point for the
No
Sao Paulo Mets.
jazz in the chat for that one.
Yeah, unfortunate for JB. Martin Jacobson, not good news for anyone to see him double up. Does have Fedor on his left with a similar stack. That will keep him in line somewhat. But as I said at the top of the show, Martin Jacobson, one of the very, very strongest tournament players in the world. Jason Wheeler not going to let this limp go with the ace-10 suited. Very, very strong holding with just 23 big blinds. Probably going to raise here to induce Faraz to shove some worse aces on him. Or to peel with some dominated Jack 10s, Queen 10s. Faraz will let the 4-10 go, though.
Tomorrow, guys, 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Central European time. It's the Mizzonator, Sorrel, all the way from Canada, playing for Germany against the Rome Emperor from Canada, Timothy Adams. Very interesting matchup in the Eurasia division. Two Canadians battling it out for supremacy.
Yeah.
Clash of the terrible franchises.
And
Performance
Jason Wheeler calls Faraz's jam, and Faraz gonna need a 6 here. There will be no chops.
Fawaz can make
a
a
10.
straight to a 10 now too.
And it comes in on the river.
Inside straight draw filled.
At last,
I mean, I pretty much
a
earned
little bit
that
of
one.
run good.
I don't feel bad about that one at all.
Yeah, Faraz pointing out the rush have run pretty bad.
It's all about how bad you want it sometimes.
Summoning
Not
the
sure if
cards.
that's true, but I like it.
Yes.
I like it.
And I wonder what Fedor does with the pocket 7s here as the covering stack. Peel is standard. You could just YOLO it in here, by the way. Just taper it right in.
Again, put a lot of pressure on me here.
And he does.
Because of the short stack.
You know, this is how to wield a big stack, ladies and gentlemen.
Fedor alls in, more like it.
Definitely would not.
Fedor doesn't even need holes because people fold.
Tapering it right in your
Nice.
face. And Faraz Jaka realizing he's not at any old table. Be interesting to see whether anyone makes an adjustment and introduces a limping strategy. Certainly think that maybe that's something Faraz should consider. Martin with more big blinds. Going to be able to raise a little bit more liberally. But once again, Fedor, considering his options with the Jack-10 of diamonds, flatting and 3-betting, both legit options here. Fedor thinking it through.
Love it.
Wow. 50 big blinds all in. with
45, but
Jack-10.
also it's like one of those things where it's kind of cool to do it with the Jack-10 suited because he broke his heart with Jack-10 suited before.
I
mean, he's crafting narratives for us, buddy. He's Spider-Man.
He's, by the way,
The spider sense tingling.
so sick.
He's the best.
Fedor Holz showing us how to play this structure. Very, very aggressive. Very aggressive. Also, the thing is like, again, some players, that sort of strategy doesn't work, but Martin actually knows ICM, and in a weird way, it's like you need your opponent to be good enough for that to be an effective strategy. Because the interesting thing about ICM, obviously, is if your opponents make mistakes, it costs you. It's not like GPV mistakes where their mistakes benefit you. If he calls all in too light there, it's Jason and Faraz who are the beneficiaries. Really, really interesting stuff.
Faraz with the 3-bet, loving it.
Yeah, using the blocker like that. I mean, that's what we expect from Faraz, crafting little ways to.
This will be
eke out
trouble, though, for
some
Jason Wheeler. It would be a huge fold against Faraz's open here, but probably slightly ahead of Faraz's opening range here. So Wheeler, not a ton to lose here given his chip stack. I imagine he will elect to shove. Hope he is ahead and hold, but I don't want to predict the future.
Can
I know how much you hate this.
Faraz Fedor hold here? Jason Wheeler just taking a moment to think it through. How many big blinds is that? I keep getting it wrong.
7.5.
7.5 big blinds. Going to know that Faraz opening into Fedor's big blind is going to have a stronger than normal range just because of the aggression Fedor has been showing pre-flop.
Like it.
But I think it is going to be too strong. I mean, we saw Faraz open the A7 suited just a moment ago. And in it goes Jason Wheeler. Sucked out on a moment ago by Faraz Jaka. Can he reverse that and suck out on Faraz? Not looking likely. No spades and a 10 for Jaka. And that will do it.
Sorry,
Bulldog
Jason.
goes
You're not
down.
As good as me today.
Jason certainly playing well, but not able to secure more than the 2 points here in the last match of the day for the New York Rounders. They will drop away from LA Sunset and Montreal Nationals going into the heads-up portion of the week. Fedor implementing a full 3x strategy with this holding. And a board which Faraz has very few strong hands on. In this instance, it's actually not that bad a flop for the 9-5 suited. Backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. But Fedor Holz with way the stronger range on the flop and on the turn. And Fedor having picked up a gut shot.
Two people who have never had 9-to-5 jobs battling out at their 9-to-5s.
And Fedor does check. Realizing that some of Faraz's floats are going to be ace-x. I kind of expected Faraz to... Wow, really did not necessarily expect the turn to go check-check there.
Well, I mean, Faraz is just going to rep the like queen and king high showdown value, which you wouldn't necessarily bet on the turn, right?
Yeah, but now you're going to face a bluff a lot from Fedor.
Sometimes.
And Fedor counting out a bet. Does far. And Faraz not immediately releasing. Such a creative poker mind, Faraz Jaka. Famed for elaborate plays. Is he thinking about raising? What would he check back on the turn and raise river with? Could he do this with ace
God,
four?
I love him. Faraz.
And he does get it done in unconventional fashion. We'll see. You'll see, of course, that he did only get Fedor off the 9 high. Don't know whether Fedor folds any of his value range, but really interesting line from Faraz. Very, very creative. What I was really hoping to see from the man they call the Toilet Zero online. Great stuff.
I believe they call him the Toilet O.
Toilet
To
O.
be fair, yeah.
He's a bit before my time for us. So.
Yeah, but he's still put up phenomenal results in the last few years.
Oh yeah, but I just.
Oh yeah.
I haven't played with him much.
Yeah. You weren't potty trained.
No.
I mean, a bit before my time as well, to be fair.
Liv Barry with the brag post. The current GPL standings. Top of the table, London Royals.
Is that in the hashtag GPL? I got to get social media hands, man. Hans is our social media guy. I got to get him to set up that tweet deck for me again. I've been out of the Twitter zone, man. It ain't right.
Fedor with second pair, Faraz with top pair. And that big bluff with the 9-5 has given the San Francisco Rush manager the chip lead here. Don't think Rush have posted a win in the 6-max format since Anton Wigg did it some weeks back.
Cat Armsby has caught up to my question regarding what kind of other impressions she wants. She would like a Batman impression. So that might be something I have to do in the next few minutes. Just going to sort of rev myself up. Where is she? Where are the drugs? I can't do it with the mic. I'm worried it's going to be too loud. Oh. Let her go.
Interesting spot if he fives
poor
here.
choice of
Okay. Could get check raised if I bet. He could have a better queen than me still. And he may fold the jack if I value bet anyways. So I think I'm just going to check this one back. I don't see a lot of great things coming from a bet. Yeah, so unfortunate river to kill my action a little bit, but yeah, I don't know if he calls a bet there. My hand looks like I might have a lot of ace high there.
Yeah, that river so favorable for Faraz's range that he elects not to value bet the queen, not wanting to over-rep his hand. It's a river where Fedor will also check better queens to him on the river, so that's the reason he didn't feel he could value bet. Pretty understandable.
Where's Falcone?
Faraz leading big into Martin. When Martin checks back this board, he has almost no 6x. Those he would want to bet for value and protection. So Faraz, with the 2 overs in the gut shot, does far sizably on the turn. And battle of wills here on the river. Faraz aborting mission, allowing Jacobson to show down the ace-queen. Olivier Busquet happy with the Sunsets result in the first match, suggesting it is a reversion to the mean.
We have a minute and a half left of my favorite level, the 816, and we will see a raise from Faraz and most definitely an all-in from Fedor Holz. And he's going to need to pick up some crabs because he's way behind. And Faraz Jaka, he's got the 10 pots.
Faraz Jaka with a great opportunity here to get heads up with the chip lead.
Always a sweat against the likes of Fedor Holz. A little duck on the turn just to make it look like a 3. And he's out.
GG, great performance from Fedor across the 2 matches.
10 points for the superstar from Germany playing for LA.
And Martin Jacobson heads up against Faraz Jaka.
And these guys have some mystery, for sure.
What a treat.
Yes.
Yeah, go on.
Same
Same online generation?
Nzgubzadeh, whatever his name is, online. Who? Martin Jacobson, his name backwards.
Yeah, M. Noskabaj.
Noskabajon.
Yeah, but, you just mean they played a lot together online?
Yeah,
for sure.
Probably live, too. I mean, these guys are
yeah, of course.
battling the circuit, EPTs.
EPTZs. Here we are. Martin Jacobson in the back cave. I mean, unreal setup. Faraz Jaka from an Airbnb in Buenos Aires. The homeless millionaire versus the homebody millionaire. Watching rich people play cards here at the GPL.
The homeless millionaire against Gotham's billionaire. Nothing for either player here, but Martin with the stronger range, having the button.
Thought queen high was going to be good here on the flop. Decent amount, but
Faraz on the right track here. Really thinking his queen high is good a lot of the time.
guess
But
not.
he does
Either
elect
that or
to fold.
good barrel, Mr. Martin.
Great instincts there by both players. King 7-3 texture. Faraz peeling with that queen 9, thinking it's good, but having to fold on that ace river turn, pardon me. Love watching these two play.
Martin Jacobson raising the queen jack for value.
Heads up. There's the world champ. Must dethrone the world champ.
This would be absolutely massive for San Francisco Rush. Win here would take them above the Moneymakers. In fact, they will be above the Moneymakers, whatever happens, but would bring them closer to those playoff spots. And Martin Jacobson
I don't know if the
with a flush draw.
crowd can see the chat or not. Probably. I don't think so.
Martin, recognizing how good the queen is for Faraz's range, does not barrel his flush draw. But probably going to find it very difficult not to fire on this river when Faraz checks again. Going to target the Jack X, 9X portion of Faraz's range with a bet here. No, he doesn't. Martin Jacobson, absolutely amazing. Doesn't fire with the 6 high on the river. Really, really remarkable poker instincts. The way he's crafted his ranges, so amazing to me. I would have expected a bet there from the majority of pros, but really impressive Martin Jacobson because it wasn't getting through against Faraz's actual holding. This time it's Faraz who goes for the delayed c-bet. And releases immediately. Martin not going to have a huge amount of bluffs on that board.
Guys, tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 Eastern, 6 p.m. Central European Time, we have the Clash of the Titans back in action. The Hong Kong star heads-up specialist, Randy Nunanoko Liu, against the aviator himself, wearing the aviators, Elke Bertrand Grossplayer. Should be a fun one. The last time these two played, they were very animated, very engaging with the fans. Super fun to watch on an entertainment level. Check that out.
Check it
I'm
out.
done with you guys. Done with you. Just done with you.
How many subscribers do we have?
No.
Do subscribe, guys. $4.99.
Yeah,
It's a
guys.
steal.
Guys, for every $4.99 you get, Sam and I both get a high five from Joseph Chung, Steve Giboro, Gross, and
Dwight Pilgrim.
Dwight Pilgrim and Max Heinzelman, our crew in the back. We
Max,
have a whole
grinding it out
yeah,
back there,
we put
trying to pay
all-
back his debtors.
We put all our hands in a pile and we go team every time you subscribe. So if that's something you're interested in seeing, we'll film it.
Do support former WPT champions in their work. Martin Jacobson with King Queen going to be good enough to raise for value. And Faraz Jaka will peel in position. Faraz perhaps playing the Super Tuesday alongside this, but I hope he's focused because great opportunity.
Leo Ghosto 82 on Twitch, loving the bluff, the reshove bluff from Faraz. We will make you guys a believers yet because this is the same guy that's said that I sucked, and now he's saying fantastic poker. I hope this GPL thing, I hope it never goes away.
Ah, that's cute.
So we turn one to the dark side.
Beautiful.
Come on in.
We love you guys.
Come on into Alex Dreyfus's poker factory.
Yeah.
Have a piece of chocolate.
Yeah. Take a seat and watch.
You've won the golden ticket.
Watch.
All you have to do is give us $4.99 per month and hit the follow button on Twitch.
Yeah. Our Willy Wonka, Alex Dreyfus.
I love that comparison. You're Veronica? You're an Oompa Loompa, babe. I mean, we all are. But especially Max Rabinovich, the leader of the Oompas. Oompa Loompa.
You've got so much at the tip of your fingertip. At the tip of your fingertips? At your fingertips. so wasted in the booth, Griff. You should be on stage.
You're
So,
such a facetious
we are heads up.
fella.
Faraz Xhaka with the chip lead. San Francisco Rush started the day bottom of the table. The manager in action, trying to right some wrongs after Jonathan Jaffe went out for 0 points in the first match against Martin Jacobson, who, we called it one of the toughest poker players on the planet.
I just gotta say, I wouldn't date Jack 9 suited, but like, I'd call it back for a second date. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love me some Jack 9 suited. It's not the board for it, but you know what I mean? It's the hand you wanna take to the streets.
For sure.
You want to take it out for a nice long walk, as many as you can. But sometimes it's like someone shoves on you for 18 bigs, and you're just like, unless you misread your hand and you're, jungle man.
I'm trying to think whose favorite hand is Jack 9 suited. I'm sure it's one of them.
Oh, it's got to be. Feels like a Craig McCorkle hand.
Corky's not folding it too often. That's a fact.
You know who would make a great couple? Corky and Corny. They got the name thing going on. It's a great thing there.
Wow.
Wow. Fair play.
I hadn't
biblical sense.
actually thought of that, but it's
Pretty sick.
Pretty sick. And Faraz Xhaka raising the 6-9 suited. Martin Jacobson has the chip lead here.
Swear to me.
And at the other end of the table, Montreal Nationals started the day top of the table. That is where they will finish. Such a strong franchise. Lavallee, Timex, Martin Jacobson, Marc-Andre Ladouceur.
God, how good did Marc-Andre play the other day, by the way?
Yeah.
Loving that.
They're all absolutely class. Really, really one of the favorites to win this inaugural season of the Global Poker League. If you missed the great man Alex Dreyfus speaking earlier, was already hatching plans for season 2. Not going anywhere. And Faraz Xhaka with 9 high on the river. Martin Jacobson with top pair, no kicker. The kicker doesn't play. Ace. Aces, king. Aces and sevens with a king kicker. Does bet. Faraz playing the board. And Faraz Xhaka will fold. Martin Jacobson extending his chip lead ever so slightly. Faraz considering what to do with the 9-4 off. Will fold to the minimum raise. Faraz raises it, and Martin will defend the Queen Jack. Great flop for Faraz's hand. Second pair with a backdoor flush draw, and has Martin outkicked. Faraz checking it back, and now they actually both have jacks and nines ace kicker. So good card in that sense for Martin Jacobson, but Faraz picks up the nut flush draw and checks it back again. And now it might be Martin who thinks about a value bet, targeting smaller pairs and king high.
Faraz known to be an extremely tricky player.
Yeah, he has a reputation for being very outlandish, creative, and such like, taking lines that other players don't.
Yeah.
And this is an example of that. I mean, I think most players, having played the hand this way, it would just be an easy call on the river. But Faraz, actually, I think considering raising or turning his hand into a bluff, particularly targeting other Jack X, maybe even feeling Martin might fold Ace-X with the... Faraz just folds. I mean...
Doesn't think...
Doesn't
think Martin's bluffing with that sizing, and doesn't think he's going to value bet that big with a jack. Bit of a misstep there
it just checked down to the river?
Yeah.
Wow. Don't think that can...
Do we really think that Martin Jacobson ever has a bluff there, though?
Yeah, of course, because he's Martin Jacobson. He's going to balance... You know, he isn't going to take a spot where he has no bluffs, I presume.
Right.
I mean, amazing. I'm actually pretty flabbergasted, even though it's a small spot.
Yeah.
I never really...
Faraz Jacob's made a lot of folds that I've been completely blown me away.
Wow.
And he is so much better than me at tournament poker, so I try not to
of course.
criticize too much.
Well, of course, Faraz Jacka's poker instincts, poker knowledge,
Right.
poker ability, anything we say comes with the coda of how...
We also know
how
everyone has.
accomplished everyone in the
Yeah.
GPL is, but
Except Bill Perkins.
I really wasn't expecting that. Amazing. Yeah. So, Faraz Jacka checking down to the river. Maybe he'll fold this end as well. Go on, Martin. Martin with 6-2 high just surrenders the pot. I mean, imagine how profitable a bluff is there when he folds his Jack X. And he's going to have a lot of King X, yeah? Just King high. Amazing. It's just a sick free roll swap for your opponents.
A near 2-1 chip lead now for Martin Jacobson at this 12-24 level. As you can see, never know what you're going to get from the GPL. These two extremely accomplished players. Know they're on the webcam, but intensely focused on just getting the job done, choosing not to engage with the fans, just to focus on getting points for their respective franchises.
This is Martin Jacobson. By the way, he has flopped a straight, and Faraz Jacka flopping a double gut shot, a 7 or a jack would make him a straight, and he is going to need that jack because Martin Jacobson has the nizzles at the moment and leads out for half pot.
And that spells disaster for Faraz Jacka. About 2x pot left, and Martin can certainly size this to get a bet and a shove in on the river. And it's going to be extremely difficult for Faraz to fold a queen if the board bricks out.
So Martin, considering his options here. In general, when we've seen people alter their strategies and lead out, it's normally with weakish hands. Here, Martin with the second nuts.
Does Faraz ever shove here for protection?
No, definitely not. I mean, against the range of hands Martin is repping, queen doesn't do very well. And this 10...
may save Faraz.
Yeah, the backdoor flush draw coming in. I think with the queen having come on the turn, Martin now, not with too many bluffs, Martin does jam the river.
I am blocking 7-8. Clubs did get there. I wonder if he ever leads something like Jack Queen. Like King Jack.
I think Jack 7 and Jack 8. Well, Jack 8's made a straight, so Jack 7, I think. 7-5 would be the only bluffs.
Not enough bluffs here.
Yeah, of course. But
especially when Faraz has a 10 enough at the time, it's hard to think you're going to get away with it. On to the next one, Faraz.
Griffin Benja, one step ahead. Believe me, if he can see your whole cards, Griffin Benja, one of the best in the world. Faraz Jacka in the tank.
I know he has it. I just have a feeling.
And is pretty weird. Martin Jacobson hasn't been leading too much. In general, these players, all the players in the GPL play a strategy where they tend to start with a check out of position with the majority of their range. So that's what's befuddling Faraz Jaka.
I might just have the jack of clubs in his hand and decide to go ahead and rep the flush here.
But what with though?
Jack 5 off, I guess. Defending? No. Not enough
Go ahead and
here.
call.
Really? Wow, it surprises me.
Faraz
Right.
Jaka making a river
Sending me
call,
home early. I love it, Faraz.
and
I
a
love
little fist pump from Martin Jacobson.
Would have made it slightly easier fold.
Faraz Jaka clearly having a losing scoop and taking it all out on the GPL felt. I'm kidding. Obviously, a completely tough spot. Just long day here at the GPL. I'm just giving you a hard time, Faraz. Unfortunate turn of events for the San Francisco Rush. Not a lot going right for them so far through these 7.5 weeks in the GPL. But right there, Faraz was able to come back after that great run against Jason Wheeler. Coming in to replace Jaffe after, he just finished 6th place. They really needed to get some points. They were able to secure 5. But Martin Jacobson,
Boss. Mike McDonald, Martin Jacobson, up top, 1 and 2.
Marc-Andre
for Montreal
Ladouceur,
Nationals.
Pascal
They
Lafrancois,
are
Jason Lavallee,
unbelievable.
Xuan Liu.
Yeah, they are absolutely unbelievable.
squad.
They have such a formidable array of talent
Canada,
to be able to.
our home and native land. No, I can't do it right now.
Are you done?
True pay. Yeah, I'm done. Go Raptors. Corn dog?
Yeah.
Corn dog. Oh, scrambling. Oh, she's dropping all the papers. She was
Montreal Nationals, absolutely massive for them. Already starting the day.
great performance by Fedor today. 10 more points for him.
Top of the table, for sure.
Yes, LA Sunset. Obviously, Olivier Bousquet has been huge for that team, but Fedor Holz is really making a case to be. I'm having a hard time with this, man. You're not on the air with me tomorrow. I don't know how I'm dealing with this. Roland's in the booth B.
Roland in the booth B. That's big.
They still have no idea who this guy is, by the way.
He's being unleashed tomorrow.
Yeah,
GPL secret weapon.
So who's the funny man? Who's good cop, bad cop?
I thought you said bad cop, bad cop.
It's a great other guy's reference. Oh, I miss you already. So I think we have about 30 seconds to Laura. How do you want to spend this time? Should we hug it out?
I was going to talk about Montreal Nationals, how strong they are in this conference.
Yes.
Got people
Let's
that
do our
can
jobs.
perform
Agree.
in the heads-up format, people that can perform in the 6-match
Yeah.
format. So strong. Them and LA Sunset looking very, very tough and formidable franchises.
Tough and formidable.
Going into the, and also they got some brains on that
Yes,
on that team.
definitely.
When it comes to 3 versus
Solvers.
3 or the new formats that we're rolling out at the GPL, they're going to be sharp and quick to adjust.
That's
So,
what's fun about the Americas Conference. I think that they are kind of the very analytical ones. The rounders are sort of the street poker types. The Brazilians are the, all over the place in that kind of fun, beautiful way. The Las Vegas Live Pros. It's a really balanced, different kind of conference. I like it.
For sure. Let's send it over to Laura in the lounge.
Thank you, boys, and congratulations to the Montreal Nationals and to Martin Jacobson there, picking up 7 points for them, which means they shall stay at the top of the conference for now. The Americas Conference, obviously, Montreal Nationals flying and doing well there. There was a chance they could have lost their spot at the top of the conference, but indeed they managed to keep it. And I guess they will hope to on Thursday as well, as we see heads-up action come into play. Martin Jacobson should be there. Congratulations to you, we had a great week 2 weeks ago, in fact, and another great week today. Talk us through that match. Who were tough opponents for you, and how easy did you find that? Because it looked pretty simple.
Where am I looking? Am I supposed to see you right now?
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me, Martin?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry.
Okay,
Yeah,
just talk us through the match and tell us who were tough opponents, who had you played with before, any tough spots there where you didn't know what to do. I imagine not, but.
it was pretty straightforward, I would say. I've played with all the guys before. And yeah, we managed to get a bit more lucky than the first match. So it was good. Yeah, it's fun to win.
Where's the statue behind you?
The what? Sorry.
There's a funny man statue behind you.
Oh, it's not a statue. It's called a dummy. You're supposed to hit it, and yeah.
So do you hit him when you get angry at poker?
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I choose to have the office and the gym same room. Very
So
convenient.
hopefully you haven't had to punch him while you've been playing at the GPL.
Not at the GPL. No, I do it before and after.
Can we have a demonstration if you get really, really tilted? Say if you'd have bussed in 6th place there and Fedor Holz for LA Sunset would have come first, that would have meant that LA Sunset would have overtaken Montreal Nationals to 1st place. Give us a punch of the dummy. Go and give us a punch of the dummy.
You want a punch? All right.
Yeah, show us what would happen. Oh my word! Oh my word, that was scary. I hope Fedor wasn't watching that. That wasn't you, Fedor, don't worry.
Maybe it doesn't read that so much next time.
I think it's good that we keep the dummy there and you've got that. I think Busquets probably got one of those as well, hasn't he?
I'll probably receive a message pretty soon.
Were you aware that LA Sunset could have overtaken you there if you'd have performed badly and they'd have performed well?
No, I thought we were safe. But yeah, it's good to know.
No one is ever safe at the GPL.
Right.
This is our last week of online action. We are heading off to Vegas next week, kicking off action with the live play in 2 weeks or so.
Right.
What have you got planned for there? Have you got like a busy WSOP schedule? And are you excited about the summer series out there?
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm heading out later this year. I'm going on the 6th of June. When's the first match?
The first match is actually the 6th of June, but it won't be Montreal playing on the 6th. I'm not sure when your first one is, but it will be after the 6th. That is a relief.
Yeah, I'm looking forward.
Anyone you're excited to play against?
I mean, I play with pretty much everyone, I think, except Jesse from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I imagine.
So yeah, we'll be excited to play versus him, but we'll see if he shows up.
I think he's going to show up, but I'm not sure which day, that's all. How did Scoop go? Were you playing for Scoops out there?
I was playing Scoop, yeah. It went pretty poorly, at least in the beginning, and I had a pretty good Sunday, so saved it a little bit at least.
So the dummy got a few kicks then?
It did, yeah.
Okay. Oh dear. Well, thank you so much for joining us and congratulations. 10 points I think you scored this evening. 2 weeks ago I think you got 12 points. So
I did,
yeah, both great performances, and along with Mike McDonald, you are flying the Montreal Nationals, doing really well. I'm sure Marc-Andre is very proud of you all.
Yeah, he should be.
Thank you. Take care.
All right,
see you in Vegas. All right.
See you, bye.
Martin Jacobson there for the Montreal Nationals, doing incredibly well. 10 points he has secured this evening for them and Marc-Andre Ladouceur's side. We will see how that affects the standings. We know they will stay in front going into tomorrow, and tomorrow is where we will see some heads-up Eurasian play, and Thursday is where we will see some heads-up Americas play, and we have some very exciting matches for you on Wednesday and Thursday. In fact, it will be our last week of online action, as you know. I did just mention that. Let's take a look at the points for that last match that we have just seen. There it is, Martin Jacobson with 7 points, Faraz with 5. San Francisco really needed those 5 points. They could have done with the 7 points. I believe they will now tie with Las Vegas, but that puts them slightly out of trouble. Fedor Holz for the LA Sunset with 3 points there, adding to his first place, meaning he did as well as Jacobson today with 10-point total. Jason Wheeler there with 2 points for the New York Rounders. Joao Bauer with 1 point, and Jonathan Little for the Las Vegas Moneymakers getting a big fat 0 points. So Las Vegas are going to be in trouble. Let's take a look at the Americas Conference. I believe now they are tied. Oh, Las Vegas Moneymakers in last place now by 1 point. So Chris Moneymaker really got some work to do. I know Anthony Zeno will be in action in Heads Up on Thursday. He will need to perform. He will need to perform well. He managed to perform pretty well the first time he played. So looking for some more wins for them. But Farah Xhaka, obviously happy to be moving up from 6th to 5th place. Sao Paulo Mets now on 76 points, 10 points ahead of San Francisco. New York with 84 points. They are 8 points ahead of Sao Paulo. The LA Sunset are now 5 points ahead of the New York Rounders. And Montreal Nationals are now flying ahead. They have 97 points, a whole 8 points ahead there of LA Sunset. It could have gone two ways though, as I said. If Jacobson had to come last and Fedor had to come first, that would have meant that LA Sunset would have taken the lead there, but alas, it did not. Let's take a look at what's coming up tomorrow in Eurasian Heads Up play. We have Nanonoko Randy Liu versus Elki. That is match 75. It's the Hong Kong Stars versus the Paris Aviators. It's 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, or 6 p.m. Central European time. Then we have London Royal Sam Trickett. He's back and he will be facing Vov Troy. London versus Moscow. It's match 76, 11:30 a.m. Pacific, 2:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central European time. And the third and final matchup is Berlin Bear, Sorel Mitzi. We saw the debut versus Timothy Adams. It's at 5 p.m. Eastern or 11 p.m. Central European time. Sorel was absolutely gold on the webcam last week. We hope there's going to be some more good fun from him tomorrow. Those are the games coming up in Heads Up play. It's only about the Eurasian Conference tomorrow though, so please do join us back here. And if you've missed anything from this evening, or you want to look at any of the matches from previously, check out any of the key hands, any features, anything you need to know about your team, or just to give us some feedback, then of course head over to www.globalpokerleague.com and we will see you there. Join us back here tomorrow around 5:30 p.m. Central European time.